This is a quick tutorial on utilizing some of the information extracted from images or pictures during the XifMap processing phase. So if you've seen some of the other videos, obviously we've demonstrated how to actually run via the command line here some of the or to actually run the process. But we're not going to talk about in this particular video. In this video, we want to illustrate what XifMap extracts from picture files, obviously as long as they contain GPS data. So what we're going to do is, I've already run it. I've set a radius of 50 miles. I've got a radius zone illustrated in with the green circle. I can turn off device path as far as chronology, so taking off of the temporal reference there. I can also turn off, which we actually can't see that based off the zoom, or I can turn off the target zone if I'd like to, but this is not really why we're actually doing the video. What we want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and double click, and then we have this pop-up that comes up for us, and it's illustrating all of the information in the description field or the description section of the place mark in Google Earth. So what XifMap has done for us is it has extracted GPS longitude, it has extracted latitude and altitude from the tags embedded within the picture, within the Exif metadata. If there's a direction and an image direction reference, there is a GPS date, and then there is a GPS timestamp, and then we get into things like make. So this is reported as being taken with a Motorola Droid 4. In the software version, there was no tag information that was extractable, at least with the processes that we're running. It also gives us a date and time of the original image capture. Some other notes that you're going to want to keep an eye on are Exif version. There are different versions of Exif. So if there's ever a question about what does this field mean or how is it supposed to be used by manufacturers and software creators, you're going to want to reference the Exif version, and then of course obviously do some research on how does the manufacturer software vendor utilize the tags, and do they utilize them appropriately. They don't always do that. The other is there's also a field here called maker note. Sometimes there is information within the maker note, and that is based off of a particular brand and software, and we're going to actually illustrate that now. So I'm going to go ahead and close this particular photo's information, and I'm going to go to another photo, and I'm going to go to that one. And so I've double clicked that, and here is an example of an image that has had an extraction. And there is obviously quite a bit of information embedded within the maker notes. Now, I'm not going to get into interpreting maker notes. This can be a particularly long discussion. It is information that you do want to be aware of, and sometimes things can be embedded in there. If somebody's using a tool like Exif Tool from Phil Harvey or some other types of coding tools, they might be hiding data in things like maker notes. So these are fields or Exif tags that aren't necessarily always read by operating systems and other programs. So these are places where things can be hidden. Now I'm going to quick breeze through some of the other fields again. Important here is this was taken by an HTC. Model number was tagged as 710C, and the software version was 3.4.0. So this is all tag information. So these are all things that help you distinguish about whether devices are actually, are images taken from the same particular device, and in what software version was it on at the time. There are ways to run XifMap and then have it segregate and actually create separate path chronologies for each device type, and you're going to want to check out some of the other tutorial videos on how to do that. So this was really to illustrate how do I quickly, and we're going to fly into a photo real quick here, but so how do I go in and see different data on a particular image, or in this particular case, here is an image that was taken, and now I can actually see the image within Google Earth based off the way things were rendered. And again, really quickly, here is the information that was tagged or extracted from the tags, I should say. This particular one is an Apple iPhone 5. It was on iOS 6.0.2 according to the tags, and they were utilizing Exif version 2.2.1. So all of these things, you know, come into play when you start to get into the details. But hopefully this information was helpful, and please check out our other videos for more insights into using XifMap.